We are live tonight at the 12th Annual Thabo Mbeki Lecture, and SABC News' International Editor, Sophie Mokoena, is there. Sophie, good evening. Finally, a face-to-face lecture, no doubt attended by luminaries of African thought leadership. What is the mood like, and what can we expect?
I think, Iman, you are fully aware that since he left office, the focus on these lectures have been on the African continent and also people in the diaspora. And I expect today a very powerful lecture that looks at the road we have traveled as a continent since the establishment of the African Union in 2002. You'd recall that the launch was in Durban, and South Africa became the first chair of the African Union when it was a transformation of the Organization of African Unity, and the former president was the first chairperson of that continental body. And I think we'll be looking at the challenges now, and this lecture, Iman, comes at a time where the leaders of the continent have converged in Malabo, Equatorial Guinea, discussing two big important issues that have affected the continent. One being the humanitarian crisis in Africa caused by COVID-19 and also now by the war in Ukraine. And the last day tomorrow, they will be talking about a new trend on the continent, the coups in different countries. After the launch of the AU, we had a bit of a lull in terms of the coups on the continent, but in recent times we have seen many removal of governments by the military, and I think this is something that the lecture will look at in terms of the road we have traveled, but also the empowerment of ordinary Africans. But with me, I have the director of the academic program at the Thabo Mbeki African School of Public International Affairs, Mayor Edith Phaswana, who is going to talk to us in terms of what they expect, but also the role of this international school. Medumel Ramona, we are here for this important gathering for the School of Public and International Affairs. What are your expectations?
Tonight we are expecting a moment of reflection about the state of the continent. Since the formation of the AU in 2002, which was a continuation of the Organization for African Unity. This space, we have created it as a school to be a space of ideation, of innovation, and also of knowledge production. As a school, we want the space to be a space where there is dialogue and engagement, where Africans can sit down and reflect about where we are coming from and where we are going.
How important is the dialogue among Africans and Africans in the diaspora?
These dialogues are very, very important. If you look at the past 12 years when we have been doing this, these dialogues have been steering a debate around the continent about issues of particular importance that affects us as Africans. Last year, the focus was on peace, and we did focus on peace, trying to reflect on the 2020 silence in the gun. And we wanted to understand how far are we as Africans in terms of peace? What is it that makes us not to silence the gun in 2020? And then this year, we are looking at 20 years. 20 years is like a young adult. Africa is coming of age. And therefore, it's important for us to sit down and go back to our drawing boards on why did we have the AU? The AU basically as well was trying to address challenges of poverty and underdevelopment on the continent, the challenges of leadership, and then also the challenges of conflicts on the continent as well. So all of these and all of these important challenges we came in order to, the AU came to address them, some of these challenges. And this is the time now at 20 years where one wants to sit and see what has been happening over time.
Thank you so much, Director. Iman, as you heard there, the director talking about what they expect, and again talking about a need for this kind of dialogue to continue on the continent. And I think at a time where the continent is grappling with issues of unemployment, issues of poverty, socio-economic conditions, the conflicts in different parts of the continent, we really need this dialogue. The most pressing issue, the population, majority of the people on the continent are young people. They are unemployed. If we don't, as a continent, address the challenges facing the youth on the continent, we are likely to experience instability. We know that poverty, unemployment leads to instability, and I think it's time for Africa to really talk about these issues, including those who are in the diaspora. Back to you, Iman.
Young people certainly have to be included in that conversation you talk about, critical to have. Thank you very much. From SABC News International Editor Sophie Mokoena. Remember, we will bring you highlights and take part of that dialogue live at around 6:20 this evening, so do stay with us.